Okay, Alex, well, I guess 24 hours on from your win at Bolton yesterday, what are your thoughts having reflected on that game a little bit?
Just really pleased to have won the match. I think over the piece we deserved to win. I thought we were the better side, but the longer the sort of game goes and you don't get that vital goal, then obviously you start to get a bit concerned. So we really sort of threw caution to the wind in terms of the changes and tried to force as much as we possibly could to go and try and get the winner. And thankfully, with Gary Hooper coming on, we managed to get it.
As that ball drifted over the keeper and may or may not have landed in the back of the net, what was going through your mind at that time?
It was taking a long time to hit the net. I think that's the biggest thing. Once they sort of put it over the keeper, you could see there was a sort of recovering defender. And I was just hoping it was going to cross the line, and thankfully for us that it did. So, yeah, it was a sort of mixed emotions. Obviously excitement, enjoyment, relief, and just thankful that we managed to get the 3 points, which at this stage of the season is the most important thing.
All of the three teams in and around you won their games as well. Are you starting to believe you might have to win every game from here on in?
Yeah, I think whether it will take that or not, obviously remains to be seen. But I think certainly going forward, that's our approach. We want to win every game. We've won the last 4 in a row, which has been great. So we've got 4 games left, and we need to continue that momentum. And if we do that, I believe we'll be where we want to be.
Neil Redfern has stabilised Leeds. They've been performing reasonably well. So what do you expect from Leeds on Tuesday night?
It'll be a tough game. I think Leeds is certainly one of the away grounds where you go to. The fans back them, particularly if they're playing pretty well. So it can be quite a sort of, I wouldn't say intimidating place, but they get good backing for their local support. So we all need to make sure we start at a high tempo and make sure that we sort of put them in the back foot and try and quiet the crowd and make sure that we're the dominant team, and that's what we'll set out to do.
As the pressure builds at this time of year, do you adapt the team's routine at all, or how do you manage the kind of increasing pressure?
I think it's just a case of just working on a sort of, obviously you've got your sort of weekly schedules and your sort of monthly schedules and everything sort of pre-planned, but there's certainly things that sort of crop up that you might alter depending on sort of how the players are looking, a bit of sort of fatigue physically or mentally, and it can be tweaked to suit the group. So we put plans in place, but like anything else, that they are sort of subject to change.
Finally, Alex, you guys have been in kind of a must-win mentality for some time now, so it must be difficult to keep re-motivating the players, although of course the motivation should be there for them. But how do you ensure that performance level doesn't dip when it is so crucial now? Well,
that's the difficulty you've got as a manager, and I don't think sort of refocusing them, certainly at this stage of the season now, is a problem. I think they're focused, they know exactly what they've got to do. I think the difficulty is trying to keep that intensity up for such a sort of sustained period of time, and particularly when the games are coming thick and fast. We've got to make sure that we hit the levels sort of game in, game out. So in between games, a lot of the time, certainly now, there's a good bit of downtime for them where they can sort of relax and try and take their mind off it. Because try to keep that intensity and sort of remain that focused day in, day out can be draining, sort of emotionally as much as anything else. So we'll try to get them relaxed as we can. And then obviously we're away here for a couple of days, and then we'll get to the hotel, and as soon as they hit the other hotel, sort of for Leeds, it's then game mode, So while they're here, we're relatively relaxed and everyone's toned down. Once we sort of travel and we go to the sort of next hotel, where it's before the match, then that's us, we're sort of into game mode and we're getting focused and ready for our job.